Is it a game changer for Singapore Airlines?
It is a game changer. I mean, this, as you can see later on, hopefully you'll show, this is a phenomenal product, and all the feedback that we received said so. In fact, among the guests that came back from Toulouse on this delivery flight, they were saying that this is the best product they've ever seen of any carriers. So there you go.
How does it fit into your business review that you've been talking about?
So this is we have always said that we wanted to provide the best to our customers. And as you know, we went through extensive survey to arrive at this product, which means that we are really going to provide something that our customers really want in terms of their needs for space, comfort, personalizations. And what we have done is that not only have we been able to do that, at the same time we're able to increase the number of seats through a more optimized use of the real estate. And this will certainly also contribute to revenue opportunities. For example, the current product on the A380s have two configurations. One of them is 379 seats, the other one is 441 seats. This configuration gives us 471 seats, so there's a lot of opportunity for us to make better revenue.
Where are you in this business review? How much have you achieved and how much more do you need to go?
So we have done, this is our transformation exercise that we're talking about, focusing on how to improve revenue, new avenue for revenue, how to make sure that we are efficient in our processes, how to restructure our costs, but very importantly, all these are done with also the objective of ensuring that we remain the favorite for our customers. So this review is undergoing. I mean, it's the beginning stage of the review, it's still early days, but we're seeing good traction among the staff. Our people fully understand why the need for transformation, and we're now having quite a few projects across the organization looking at how to do this transformation.
You talk about wanting to be leaner and more efficient. Does that eventually lead to staff cuts, restructuring among your workforce?
The key focus actually we have for this transformation exercise is really about how we can make SIA the most preferred carriers by our customers in a manner that is cost efficient. So it is never considered a manpower exercise. So yes, of course, as we change the way we work, the processes, as new technologies are introduced, there will be some of the jobs currently our staff are performing will no longer be relevant. But we're committed to provide all the necessary training so that they can actually acquire the new skill to perform in the new task.
Give us a sense of how SIA will look like once the restructuring, once the business review is done.
I think that's something that you'll have to wait to see. We'll prove to you, and we have a very great commitment among staff across the organization. That's the greatest asset we have, right? Our people. And if you were to travel, you talk to our crew, you see that they're all very energized by this exercise, and all are looking forward to actually complete it so that we can actually be the undisputed number one.
You've just taken delivery of your A380 and you'll be taking more in the years ahead. There is a need for funds. Will you be turning to the bond market to pay up for your purchases?
We already have done so. We are reaching out.
Are there plans for more?
Well, if there is a need to, we will certainly consider that. There is no issue because we still have a very strong balance sheet. If you compare us with any other major carriers in the world, we have lots of capacity to borrow if we want to.
What's your take on the environment right now, given that the Fed has just raised rates and planning to raise rates possibly 3 times next year?
So it's early days as to what exactly the impact will be from the Fed's decision. But what we have seen in the market is stabilization of yield and demand. So we are cautiously optimistic about the outlook.
There's been a recovery in the freight business. What's your own take on it for the next 12, 24 months? Is it likely to persist?
I was running SIA Cargo for a while. I don't think we can look beyond the next week most of the time. but having said that, I would say that the expectation right now in terms of the current uptick in the freight demand is that it will probably continue for a while. But we, like in any other business, in cargo as well, we got to be nimble, we got to know how to manage the demand and capacity supply, and that's exactly what our colleagues in cargo have been doing.
When you take a look at the fleet for the freight business, you've cut from 9 to 7. Do you think there is a need to cut it further, given the need for efficiency?
At this point in time, 7 looks like a number that we think is appropriate. At this point in time, like I said, this is about, again, being nimble. So if there are changes, we believe that is structural, then we'll adjust accordingly. But having said that, one have to realize that with the addition of all the new aircraft that we have in the fleet, from the passenger side, it's actually giving rise to quite a bit of belly hold capacity. So overall, our freight tonnage capacity is actually increased from on year to year.
There's also a new trend developing in the industry. Airlines across the world are forming alliances to cut costs beyond just revenue sharing. Do you see SIA doing the same thing? Is that something you may consider?
We are always open to collaboration with partner airlines and other suppliers, and where there are opportunities, of course, to increase revenue, that is obviously a priority. But certainly if there are cost efficiency that we can get, we will be happy to participate.
Even for things like fuel
Sure.
and maintenance?
Sure.
Would you
yeah.
look beyond your own alliance?
As you know, we already have a code share with Air France on the trunk route. So we are already having alliances or cooperation beyond our own alliances.
Just one final question, Mr.
Sure.
Goh. In the next 12-24 months, what do you deem as the biggest challenges facing Singapore Airlines?
I think we will continue to see the environment remaining challenging because there are still surplus capacity in the market. But I believe that with the efforts we have started and with the support across the entire organization for the transformation, we're well prepared for the challenge.